Are you looking for the best 3D printers? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best 3D printers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Snapmaker 2.0 at A250T and A350T. The Snapmaker 3D printers aren't just 3D printers. You can switch the extruder module out and switch in the CNC carver, or the laser engraver module in just a few minutes and get working. The 3D printer module stands on its own as high quality. We were surprised by just how reliable, accurate, and effective it was when we tested it. It doesn't feel like you lose anything on the 3D printing side when you add on the other options. The metal structure and linear rails are sturdy, retaining precision even on the largest A350T we tested. You can 3D print all major hobbyist filaments like PLA, flexible filaments like TPU, and ABS. The smartphone-shaped touchscreen makes it really easy to operate, and the Wi-Fi connectivity saves you hassle from constantly plugging in SD cards or USBs. You get a range of premium features: auto-leveling, filament runout detection, dynamic print speeds via the intelligent software, generally making your 3D printing experience more pleasant and productive. By default you get the weaker 1600 mW cutting module, which we still manage to laser engrave with nicely, as well as cutting through thin and soft wood, though it takes a lot longer than specialized lasers. However, you can purchase the 10W high-power laser for an extra $399, which can engrave anodized aluminum. Check out our Wolf engraving below, and comfortably cut through acrylic and wood. We cut out an entire rhino puzzle from black acrylic in under 15 minutes. You can carve soft and hardwoods, as well as carbon fiber sheets and acrylics. We also used the 4-axis CNC module to carve chess pieces from epoxy blocks, and the bit can comfortably carve most woods and similar materials. We cut chess pieces using the V-bit carver and the 4-axis rotary module add-on. This costs an extra few $100 though, which lets you carve into cylindrical blocks like a lathe to create detailed characters. Snapmaker Luban software handles the 4-axis well, and it's a very well-designed software and slicer generally, versus buggier 3D software like Revopoint's RevoScan. If you want to engrave contrasting images, you can use the laser engraver. It can engrave on woods, as well as leather, fabrics, and acrylic. We engraved a few cylinder-shaped blocks to test the 4-axis engraving module, as well as using the laser cutter to cut through a thin piece of wood to make this gift box. We recommend also purchasing the enclosure to improve your printing experience and keeping you safer, and you may want to also pick up some extras for CNC. Their wide range of extras and goodies are on their site, which you can visit here. If you're considering the newest A250T or A350T versus the standard Snapmaker 2.0, the newer version is upgraded for a faster and quieter 3D printing experience generally, with a newly designed 3D printing module as well as more intelligent fan speed adjustments and a more powerful power module. There's even rumors of a dual extruder module coming soon. At number 2. FlashForge Creator Pro 2. The FlashForge Creator Pro 2 is one of the best desktop 3D printers on the market for dual extrusion. This makes the FlashForge Creator Pro ideal for low-cost multi-material or color printing. The Creator Pro 2's main upgrade on the original Creator Pro is it now features an IDX 3D printer system, meaning that the two extruders can move independently on the Y-axis rather than being locked together. This opens up possibilities for both duplication 3D printing, printing two identical parts at the same time, and mirror modes, printing mirrored parts like two opposing shoe soles, greatly improving efficiency. This comes at the cost of some X-axis size, down to 200 mm. The Creator Pro 2 is an accurate 3D printer, with a minimum layer height of 0.05 mm. Its closest alternative is the Sovol SV04, a similar priced IDEX printer, but whereas the Sovol has a larger build volume, the Creator Pro has a sturdily built enclosure for better heat control. At number 3. Elegoo Saturn S. The Elegoo Saturn S is a new-look upgrade on the standard Saturn, bring it in line with larger resin competitors like the anycubic Mono X series. Compared to the standard Saturn, build volume jumps from 192 by 120 by 200 mm to 196 by 122 by 210 mm. This is a slight increase, but these numbers position the Saturn S as one of the larger format printers priced under $500, ideal for printing batches of your favorite high-detail figurines. Elsewhere, the Saturn S 4K screen refines the XY resolution to 48 microns, offering a slight jump in fine detail over the Saturn's 50 microns. You could spend a further $200 on the Photon Mono X 6K to drop to 34 microns. Still, the differences at this scale are virtually indistinguishable to anyone but the most discerning makers. When compared with the anycubic Mono X, not the 6K version, they have similar 4K screens and resolutions, with the Saturn S having a 4mm larger X-axis, and the Mono X with a 35mm larger Z-height. So if you want to print taller models, go with the Mono X. They're of similar speeds, and have similar connectivity via USB, so it's mostly down to what you plan to print. Do you want to print wider, or taller? For wider, go with the Saturn S, for taller, the Mono X. And for a 6K screen, go for a Mono X 6K. At number 4. Anycubic Mono X. The Mono X is a big upgrade on Anycubic's lower-priced LCD printers. This home 3D printer can print intricate tabletop or D&amp winking and laughing models in fantastic detail, and is one of the best 3D printers for miniatures. It prints at a very respectable 60 mm per hour. The 4K screen makes for incredibly precise layers for the price, and in fact you'll barely be able to see any visible layer lines if you use more accurate print settings. Additionally, the upgraded double linear Z-axis improves stability, further improving performance. The 3.5-inch touchscreen makes it easy to operate it, and the Mono X works over via Wi-Fi or USB/SD. Overall, it's one of the best 3D printers for resin molds and models under $1,000, and a great 3D printer for resin. At number 5. Anycubic Vyper. We were impressed with the Anycubic Vyper when we tested it last month. The build volume is impressive, and slightly larger than you'd expect for this price range, yet the printer is compact, and fits on most desktops. The auto-leveling makes life easier and can be done via one click, and the Vyper also automatically adjusts your nozzle height for optimum printing. The spring steel magnetic platform makes it easy to remove prints, and its magnetism means you can remove the entire plate, remove your model in a more convenient place, and then click it back into place for your next print. Though we kept it at the standard 50-60 mm/s during our test, Anycubic highlight how the Vyper's innovative new double fan system lets you print at up to 100 mm per second without creating issues. Still, if you're going to use your printer as a speed demon, be careful when printing very small models. The large 4.3-inch touchscreen makes printing a breeze, and the layout is intuitive and simple to operate. It doesn't have Wi-Fi connectivity, but it's very easy to move models from Cura to the SD card and print them on the Vyper. Overall, it's a good compact 3D printer for homemakers. At number 6. Ender 3 S1 Pro. We highly recommend the standard Ender 3 or Ender 3 V2 for a very low-cost FDM kit, but if you want premium features for a couple $100 extra, the Ender 3 S1 Pro is one of the best printers under $500. We were really impressed with the quality when we printed out some test prints during our Ender 3 S1 3D printer review. The build volume is mostly the same, 270 mm versus 250 mm on Z-height, as the standard Ender 3, but the S1 Pro has an all-metal and direct drive extruder, versus the Ender 3's PTFE Bowden extruder. This makes it much easier to print flexibles like TPU, and reduces filament jamming from the generally higher quality extruder. The S1 Pro can also handle up to 300 degrees Celsius temperatures, so high-temp nylon and other filaments are no problem, a rarity at under $500. The Ender 3 standard runs up to 255 degrees Celsius, and the Ender 3 S1, not Pro, can handle 260 degrees Celsius. Another major advantage is the autobed leveling. While you can buy a CR Touch or BL Touch for the Ender 3, it's a hassle and a time sink, so the Ender 3 S1 and S1 Pro coming with this is a big plus. The Z-axis is also generally sturdier and of higher quality for more reliable and precise printing, and if you do intend to print fine details, the Ender 3 S1 range goes down to 0.05 mm layer heights, versus the 0.1 mm on the other Ender 3 printers. At number 7. Anycubic Kobra. The Anycubic Kobra delivers incredible value for the asking price, with a spec sheet that reads like one for a printer twice its price. We were lucky enough to review the anycubic Cobra, and despite some minor slicer issues, we were thoroughly impressed with anycubic's latest entry-level printer. Standout features include anycubic's in-house developed LeviQ automatic bed leveling and homing system, a PI-coated spring steel heated bed, a direct drive extruder, and one of the sharpest touchscreen UIs we've seen at the price point. It's frankly baffling to see these types of features on a printer costing less than $300. The anycubic Cobra's budget appeal also extends to the quality of the prints. With a bit of software wrangling, the Cobra is capable of fantastic prints for the price, and the bang-on average 220 by 220 by 250 mm build volume should cover all your everyday 3D printing needs. A layer thickness range of 50 to 300 microns and print speeds pushing up to 180 mm per second have you covered for everything from sharp, detailed prints through to quick, functional parts. Overall, the anycubic Cobra is an affordable printer that stands out for taking some of the more frustrating and time-consuming aspects of the hobby out of the picture so that you can concentrate on the actual printing. If you're a first-timer looking for a gentle introduction to 3D printing, the anycubic Cobra is arguably the best option out there currently.